begin. All right. All right. So you guys can hear me, right? All right. Good. All right. Good. All right. So this is about news you could use. And thank you for those that are here with me today. I am doing a little something a little bit different right now because this barrel with your girl here. Um, I thought I'd come on here and just talk briefly about um, Prince Harry in his book. All right, so we all have seen. If you've been, you might not be into the royals, which is fine. But if you are, um, or you just want to say, I'm here to give you just a brief synopsis of the interview that he did with Anderson Cooper, which I wanted to share because I think that it touched on some cute things and is worth the watch. Okay, so first of all, we all know that he is doing his press junket or whatever, his press tour to promote his book, Spare. Now, why is it called Spare? And I'm like, why is it called Spare? My American self. Why is it called Spare? Well, it's called Spares because that's what he was referred to by his father when he was born. He had already birthed an heir to the throne, and he called him Spare. But you know what? I digress. I am not from over the pond, but over here, that's a little shady, but it is what it is. But anyway, let's go back to what I'm here for. So, I know at the beginning of the interview, he goes in. I'm about to get real relaxed. At the beginning of his interview, he does go and the beginning of it all. I just want to say hello to everybody. On his interview, is that he goes and he discussed, the root of all, his earliest memories of like his mother, and it was very telling of his side, like his perspective on a lot of things. How he was saying, he his memories of his mother, the funeral of it is that like the things that he can remember, the key things that he can remember, how people were crying, and him and his brother were like out there shaking people's hands, smiling while his during his mother's funeral. And I was taken back by that because I mean just like any average you know certain minded individual would say like, wow, he's 12 years old, his brother's a couple years older than him. Instead of them sitting there, mourning or crying or getting into the funeral, they're out here shaking people's hands. And that's what he said. He said it was a little bit weird thinking back, and it was a little weird to him too because he was he was sad, but he saw people crying and mourning his mother a little bit more than he was, and he felt like people were giving flowers, and he have a memory of him taking flowers from one of the supporters, and putting it over up against the gates against all the other flowers while they're crying and weeping the loss of his mother. And also he did go and discuss about how after she passed away that he didn't actually believe that she had passed away. He believed that his mother just went away and eventually would come back for him and his brother, which I just was like, this heartbreaking. Like, no, my mom's not dead. She just not here, and she's coming away. So he did discuss that a little bit with Anderson Cooper, and you know what? And I'm glad that Anderson Cooper, and I'm glad that he's going to specific media outlets than the media outlet. Reputable outlets in telling his perspective, telling his side, because all we've been seeing was satire in the British tabloids and things like that, coming from them saying these things, putting out what they want us to know instead of what was really going on. And their motto growing up is like, don't say anything. And watching the interview prior to watching this interview was that he was made to be quiet. This institution will protect you, and we see where we are now. Okay. And he just was talking about another thing that he touched on as he talked about the early his early remembrance of his perspective of when his mom first passed, that he felt like stagnated until he was like 23 years old. And it was just it was just really heartbreaking to see. And he said when he was 23 years old, when he joined the military, you know, that was when he first started a sense of purpose. And so that's probably what, 23 years old. That's like 11 years after his mom passed away. So he started feeling a sense of purpose, and he started feeling normal. Like he wasn't, he wasn't the prince. He had to be suited up in a uniform, and go out and do the duties as that he was supposed to do. And it doesn't matter, he was in the military. So everybody was on the same, playing field. And he did mention saying, being in the military was turning his pain into purpose. So I really highly recommend you watch the Anderson Cooper interview, because it was truly great. It wasn't too long. It was just what we needed to see, just enough for us to get a little insight of his perspective, how he see things, and I think enough for me to buy the book. Okay, I really am like doing like person of color authors and everything like that, but this book, this book right here, I see me dodging, like talking about him. So another thing that he talked about, growing up, his anger was when his father married that woman. Her name, the woman that she shall not be renamed. And it was interesting how he was upset. Okay? How, listen, I get what he was saying. He was like, it was interesting. He did not like how she was working so hard to rebuild her reputation. And as she was building her reputation, it was at the expense of little Prince Harry. And you talking about evil stepmoms, child. And he said specifically how the lengths and the people that she is willing to, associate herself with to try to rehabilitate her reputation. I mean, like I said, I'm over here. I'm on the other side. I'm over here in a different country, doing a thing like that. But the good, the woman that named that shall not be named, in my through my eyes, because I'm a woman of a certain age, I remember this all playing out, looking with about 10% of carriage. Okay, like I really could care less, but I still wanted to know and be aware of what was going on all over the globe. And I never thought it was a good look. And I never thought it was a good look because I remember Princess Diana interview saying she was the third person in their marriage. Okay, the third person in their marriage. I'm just over here just like, anyway. And I'm just like nothing even new, or this is anything new, or, about having been there. But listen, we all knew when he waited 15 minutes after, the divorce and everything like that, he married that woman 15 minutes later. I'm rolling my eyes. That's what it's silent in. You know what I'm saying? Hmm. He also, in that interview, talked about him, using drugs and drinking heavily. And of course, like, once again, I guess once he found his purpose being in the military, once that part of him was over with, then he still had to go and deal with the grief. Come on, guys! If you are here, make sure that you like, and subscribe. So still dealing with the grief, still dealing with being the spare, and the stepmom rehabilitating her reputation at expense of H. So he admitted that. And another thing that I really encourage you, you know, to watch the interview, him also discussing the fact that he saw mother as the villain. She was the villain. She really was. She was the villain because she did not care about. She only cared about being the wife of Prince Charles, being his wife. It was no need for him to marry her because we all knew that he already had Prince William. William is going to be enough to be king. It was no need, but she wanted it. The father did it. And the thing about it, and just to make her reputation look better and to downplay his. But I'm not surprised that as someone said, as Carol Chamberlain said, I didn't know either he was a party yet guy. And as he was partying, as he no longer stopped being a party guy and he met Megan, they fell in love and he started changing. Had she been another of a melanated, if she been like an envelopian, and they would have been like, oh, this is great and everything like that. However, because she was an American, as his brother called her, the American actress, she was divorced, she was black, she was biracial with a black mother. They wouldn't seem like she was like she wasn't good enough. Like she wasn't a core, smart, ambitious, humble, but yet assertive, articulate woman. Just because she's an actor, there's a lot of actors out here who probably IQ is higher than William and Charles put together. Rolls eyes, okay? Rolls the eyes. Rolls the eyes. You know? So, I really I was not surprised about how he was coping as the youngest of the young man, trying to find his place and trying to find his place in that, dysfunctional family as we all have, you know? But he's been very consistent on why he left. Why he left. He just couldn't. Oh, and another thing, why he left. And then he also touched on how when he got old, at 20, he wanted to see the documents. He wanted to see the pictures because he wanted to ride that road, which he did. He did see some pictures, but he had people around enough, some people around enough that spared him respectfully and was like, look, you don't need to see all the pictures. Here's enough in order for him to really like come to terms to like, wow, my mom is really gone and this happened to her. And really did the paparazzi, did the British tabloids and all this stuff play a part in it. And he said you can see in the pictures of his mother unalive body, like a flash of the paparazzi from the glass, and you can see it. And one of the disheartening words that he was saying, like her last, probably her last vision of being alive or her last sight was actually seeing the paparazzi taking pictures of her. And the British tabloids was the enemy to her. They were horrible. Like she had like they were very horrible. And you see come now years later, once she divorced him and didn't no longer have the status, she was like fair game. So they were doing the same thing to Harry. They were doing the same thing to Harry and Meghan. The paparazzi was here, there, everywhere. Like they didn't have. Once they took their status away, they no longer. They no longer. Child, you seen it. You seen it when the good says over. But they no longer had security. And that lack of security was one of the main demise in the paparazzis of his mother. So you're looking, and you can see this from a lens of him talking from a 12-year-old boy to a 23-year-old man trying to find purpose, to him finding his way in his late 20s of still masking the pain, and then not having such masking the pain. Because I think if the old sis, the name, the stepmother that we're not going to say her name, has she been a stand-up individual and didn't use him as a sacrificial limb to be a sacrificial lamb to restore her reputation, it might have been a different outcome, but she didn't care. She didn't care. And and it's probably, people was like, oh, this been going on for years, but it's been going on for years. This is how they am. But at some point, something comes to an end. Something rare is ugly head. Something get exposed for things to slow down. And this is my perspective on what he was saying. And like I said, he did it from the lens of a 12-year-old boy to a 23-year-old young man to his late 20s, and then meeting Meghan. And that meeting Meghan, he stopped partying, he stopped getting high, he started seeking therapy, in his late 20s, he started seeking therapy. So, and I'm not saying like after he met her, but he started going to the path of being more positive, being a stand-up individual. So, in the British tabloids, y'all proved them right every time. Every time. Just not too long ago. Very, very recent. Probably the late in December, as recent as December, how they was just talking about how they wish that Meghan Markle was unalive. For what? What's your real beef? What does the sis do? Never mind. Don't even answer that. It's rhetorical. Rhetorical. But the thing about it is that when he saw his wife mental health was declining and they tried to reach out for help. Hello, thank y'all for coming. Reach out for help. They did not help them. And one thing about it, like they snitch on themselves. You can't, and the thing about any reasonable person, I really don't have a real stake in this fight. I really don't have a bone in this fight, okay? I'm over here eating my tasty cakes and my cheesesteaks, okay? But at the end of the day, a rational individual, let's just not even say that it's Harry and Meghan, but an individual. If it was somebody else, me and somebody, and I am a star or whatever like that, and I'm pregnant and I'm holding my baby bump, But the envelopian is holding her baby bump. Is all as she holds her bum and everything like that, as she cradles her baby in warmness. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Um, as she's holding her baby bump, and then then the other one, her sister, the envelopian holding their baby bump is she cradling her baby. But when you do it, why my God, why you keep doing it? I mean, you side by side. They talked about how um Kate was eating, avocado toast, being healthy for her babies. She eat avocados. How much avocado is going to do it? What she's going to do with the avocado? I was like, come on, people. And it's a paper trail. You can see it side by side, and it's the side by side. You can see it. And the thing about it is that when they say, "Oh, I didn't," it's not meaning like that. It's not like that. Don't sit up here. Don't sit up here and try to, you know, have your own and spin it on us like we don't see with our own eyes. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the things that I had like a high key problem with. Don't do that. So I just want to know, like, I think that the book I think it's going to be a great read. Um, I think it's going to tell us more and the stuff that we need to know. And I think certain things like who said what that was derogatory. I don't think honestly we don't need to know. I mean, honestly, I'm not reading because that's the mess. We know it was said. I know we. He said it was said. I'm going to believe. I'm going to believe him because everybody actions has been leading up to everything that he's been saying. But we don't need to know who said all the stuff. You know. I mean, in my opinion, I still think it's a great read, great information. Uh, um, and I really do think it's going to be good. So if anybody, let me know in the comments or if you're considering putting this on your read. If not, I probably will do a live um after I get the book and maybe go over, chapter after chapter, whatever like that, and we can discuss it like that. But I am going to get the book. The book comes out tomorrow. Okay? So that's why he was around there doing his little interviews and everything like that. But at the end of the day, we are smart enough to know. We are smart enough to know when somebody, you know, they really was like they really was trying to play us. And I'm already saying us is because if you sit up there and you're engaged and you read about it and they try to say, I think it'll be a good. I think it'll be good. I'm gonna do it on mine, and I definitely would. Hey, I would definitely be right there, chiming in on yours, even if it's the same day. I'm definitely gonna be over there at the House of Princess, um, the House of Princess on your channel. If it's going to have to be, you know, uh, if I have to catch the replay. And you know what? Everyone said the queen was in everyone's business too dang much and had the nerve to even tell people that the color nail polish that they would wear. I know she's the queen, but listen, that's that old monarchy type thing, you know? That's that old monarchy thing. And I know that she is the queen. You're supposed to, bend with the times, but having I don't know. I don't know what she wanted. I guess she only could wear French manicures over there. I mean, seriously, because she couldn't have a matte. She couldn't have a matte light blue on her nails. I understand that's the queen of the monarchy, but I really do think that this book is going to be top tier read, and Can't nobody, any individual person, rational person with a head on their shoulders can see the writing on the wall. Even if you just said, even if you just use like 45 minutes of your day while you're eating lunch or working out on a treadmill, Peloton, without it, and you can read the British tabloids between they were, how they portrayed Megan and how they portrayed um, Kate. Come on now. They is like, don't sit up there and say that. Oh no, we didn't. Don't blow smoke up my ass, okay? Period. Or any one of us. That's what you're not going to do. That's what you're not going to do. Hello, Snooky. Hello, Princess. Hello, Levon. Hello, Marva. Hello, Ava. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. Make sure. Yes, hello, Marva CV. I really do. I really think that this is going to be. Once I know I've been saying it, but I really do think that is a good read. Um, I'm. I like. They are in the public eye, um, and for a while, a lot of people been saying what. All we had was the tabloids, and even that one, the tabloids and them not speaking a piece. And I'm glad that they did their documentary also because a lot of times, if people don't really have no real input, first of all, I don't believe everything I read. And I don't believe in there's some truth to every little tabloid. I don't think that because a lot of times, even in life, and I'm just the average Joe. Even if somebody don't have nothing to say, but want to talk about me, people will make shit up, and you'll be like, "Well, since when I was this, or since when did I do that?" Just to be a part of the conversation, just to be a part of the fuck shit, just to be part of the fuckery, just to be part of the toxic, just to be feeling like, you know. And I'm a part of something like for me, I don't talk about things like if I know that I don't get jiggy with a person, I don't sit there have to, I have the means to just sit back and just be quiet. I don't have to chime in on something or about somebody that I don't like, especially if I have nothing to offer. I mean, nothing to add to that situation. Or if someone is talking negatively about somebody I don't like, I'm definitely not going to do that because I know I don't like that person. And you probably mad at that person, but I'm not going to say anything because it's coming from a place, I mean, I don't like them. But guess what? But the thing about it is that they can no longer gaslight some of us because now that they have been telling a story, and I'm glad because why not? Why not? Y'all sat up there for years. I was thinking about unaliving myself, and I don't get to speak out, speak my piece, tell my story. I'm glad you did. And guess what? Sure, let me tell my story, and of course, let them pay for it. I'll pay for it. People battle. So the thing about it, you say I like the documentary, but I would love another perspective added to the mix. There was other perspectives, Snooky. They did the documentary because for years they couldn't speak out. For years. And the thing about it is that I'm glad that they really didn't get to in the documentary about like the family drama. It was more so showing us so they could no longer gaslight our asses, try to gaslight, you know, they can do that to the simple minded people. Because even if I did not like I'm not like pro them and anti anybody. I'm not that. But the thing about it is that don't try to insult people intelligence. And the tabloids, it was really their perspective, the tabloids. And shout out to, I don't care, like I said another time, like you can say what you want, but shout out to Shout out to Tyler Perry. Shout out to Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, just like she said in a documentary. If you didn't, make sure you go watch the documentary on Netflix, okay? Because it's a good watch. Is greatly produced. Got the great. It great is greatly produced and everything like that. And but I remember on how the Tyler Perry situation. Even watching it on he just proved again about why he had to protect his family. Because I think he need one of those VPNs. That's probably what it was when he was calling and talking to somebody or emailing somebody. They got their VPN, and then they found out where they was living at because they were living quietly in Tyler Perry house for 6 months, having 6 months of peace, of peace, and just trying to get their heads around it, and healing, and then boom, the paparazzi found out, fucking up Tyler Perry's lawn. He had to build a gate, and then they was ripping out part of the gate so they could get the paparazzi so they get closer. They had he built trees. They was messing with the trees. It was ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And you don't think this young man don't think that he should protect his family? My lips is curled up right now. A tootie. But once again, I am gonna I got the book, and actually I'm buying the book from I ordered it from Uncle Bobby's bookshop here in Philly. It's a black owned bookshop, and I'm ordering it from there. So, and then I'm going to be a read by read. I think that's going to be one of our news you could use. So, another thing about news you could use about Prince Harry and Meghan is that like I said, um I think that I watch YouTube and everything like that, and I watch people like body language and stuff like that. I honestly, even though it's entertainment to me, it's entertaining, and you can take some things out of it. But when something is produced, um, I don't think if like I don't think that they really can. In my personal opinion is that now that we know things are produced, we don't know if people took a break before they answered the question. I don't know, somebody could have been hungry, thirsty, or had to take a minute because crying. Because I do see for them to be like, oh, he's lying, or there could be some deception or something like that. Or when somebody looked at the eye, I mean, like he could have saw a fly and it made him go to the, you know. so, so in it there. So another thing that you need to use as we close out, the book comes out tomorrow, so I suggest that you go ahead and watch it. Another one of our YouTuber, House of the Princess, she said she was considering it. So make sure if you haven't, go over to her channel too and see when they're gonna do it. I'm definitely going to do it one by one. I'm going to read their perspective and just give my little opinion. And if I don't really have anything to give about what they say on a specific subject, we're just going to just discuss how maybe this can, how it probably can relate to your life, because these days, at the end of the day, everybody comes from some type of dysfunctional family. And he did close out on the Anderson Cooper that he do inspired that one day that they could be a family, probably not as close, but he still want, long to have, a relationship back with his family over there. You know what I'm saying? Now, our second was I just watched a murder document, and they cover some of the wiretap identification of the royals. Very interesting document. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Yes, yes, yes. So, so make sure that if you came here and you're watching, you make sure you hit that like button. Tomorrow I'm going to do my again news you could use. It's going to probably about your perspective or your comments or the replay um, about this book. Anything up new, some updates about the Royals. And let me know if you like this new format of this camera that I'm using right now, because I'm using right now app called Cam. Damn, what is it called? That's a shame. It's called Ecamm Live, and so far so good. I mean, I think I'm liking this better than the other one that I've been using. Once I play around with it and stuff like that, yeah. So anybody, anything else? Let me see. I'm going to read. So she said, "Oh hell no, come on." But you know what? I'm glad that he's telling a story. You know, I think when everybody have always a lot of things to say about somebody else's life, and someone remain quiet. Um, I think this book and them coming out is going to probably help a lot of people. And and this is good exposure to the fuckery. This is good fuckery exposure. This is not like Real Housewives type of fuckery exposure, but this is some good fuckery. Yeah, right. Hello, Red Label. So yeah, so make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. Is there anything else that I definitely want to cover tonight other than Harry and Meghan book? Uh, when it comes to the royals. Oh, you gotta watch it. He said he don't like Game of Thrones, but it is some fucking dragons, and the dragons is the British press. Maybe they are the Night King or something. Like the British press is the Night King. How about that? Is the is the dragon that's Viserion? Then when Viserion became the them. Yes, I don't know. So when he said that, I threw you off here. But when he said I don't watch Game of Thrones, but dragons, that's what the British press. I cried. I cried. That was a good one because Anderson Cooper, because he definitely, he's over there, so we're watching Game of Thrones. And wait a minute, during news, I've never watched the Game of Thrones. Who? Camilla is Cersei. Okay? Camilla is Cersei. That's who she is. She is Cersei, and she is Daenerys' brother from the first season. That's who she is. If you never watched the Game of Thrones, well, that is a great watch. If you want to binge watch something like that, it's a really good show. And dragons is a very small part of, they're just a character on there. And it's amazing how they channel them. So well portrayed. I'm gonna say channel because I'm looking at it. It's great how they it was just an amazing show. So I think that you should watch the first season and then get back to me, Marva CB. Okay, get back to me. So I am going to challenge you, Marva, to watch the first season. Just give me this. I'm just giving 8 minutes. The first season. Oh yeah, Anderson Cooper. And you know what? I liked Anderson Cooper because I think he asked some questions that we wanted to know. He didn't make it too tabloidy. It wasn't messy. It was very professional, and I think that I liked his line of questioning, and it wasn't too much, and it was just enough for you to read and for you to inquire about the book. He is a nice looking guy. Yeah. Yes, so he is considered that's the silver fox or whatever like that. Yes. So and I'm sure that he knows tragedy and betrayal and all that stuff because he's a Vanderbilt heir. So definitely, definitely. So I'm glad that he did. I'm not watching any more press on because it gave what it already needed to be given. The book is already gonna. The book is already. Oh, and another thing, Marvin CB about Game of Thrones, it could be a slow burn, okay, but it's a good slow burn. So I'm telling you, it's highly entertaining, and I can't wait to the next chapter of it coming out. Not somebody called. I didn't mean to say her name out loud. I was calling her the stepmother and the woman that would not be named, okay, or the envelopian, okay, because I did not want to say her name because she's so negative. You know what I'm saying? People do that to get out. Well, guess what? It's 2023 now. Try that ish now. And the thing about it is that, and she's still showing her hand. You know why she's showing her hand? Because not too long ago, because the moment that Meghan Markle started dating Harry and married him, that Pierce stankweed ass, um, Mr. Crab, every day, every day he was obsessively negatively saying negative things about Meghan Markle. Negative every day. It was so excessive. It was so scary that he said, I swear, he was giving me that she has a shrine and that he rubbed baby oil on his stuff at night with his tidy whities, lighting the shrine, crying, and with a hitting himself with a block of cheese, crying over Meghan Markle the way he was coming at her every day. And I'm glad that they, that platform got rid of him. But it's always somewhere that they want people like that negative ish. People like to see people getting dragged for no reason all day, every day, lies planted on lies because they don't like somebody. People like to be, so there's a platform for that. No, not Pierce Bronson. The other one. The other one. It was the other one. And and he can't say, "Oh, I do this for entertainment or this is what they want." Nah. Nah, dog. Nah, pump your brakes. It was a little bit too much. No, it wasn't a little bit too much. It was way too much. It was hard to watch after a while. It was really, really. You talking about weirdo? I'm telling you, it was really weirdo. Like, if he had access to it, he probably would be standing outside her window. All that kind. That's the kind of weirdo vibes he was giving. Nasty ass. She lucky. He lucky. She gave. And you know what? She probably was giving him a sympathy date. Probably like, I mean, I'm single. It is what it is. I'm over here. What's good? Okay, you want to have some drinks? Come on, let's. All right, we'll do some drinks. But probably wasn't going to be giving like, what? So yeah. Wait a minute. That never happened to me. I was just coming off the top of my head. Levon's library rubbed in a lobby baby oil. Okay. A block of cheese. I mean, hitting himself with a block of cheese, okay? Because he looked like he smelled like cheese, like rotten cheese. He looks like, and I'm talking about Pierce. He looks like he smells like you have dairy and eggs and then you throw it up. That's what he smells like. This is what it looks like he smelled like. It seemed like he smelled like outside all day. Okay, like he looked like he smelled like outside in the summertime. You know what I mean? Like a bag of pennies. That's what it looked like. He smelled like cheese and outside. But more power to that man. He out there living his life, doing what he loves. And maybe you know what? That's doing what he loves. So that's enough about him. Yep. Mhm. So there we have it. And you know what? Another thing. Before I end this, I was thinking about when he said, "This is what got me to thinking about doing this live too," because I wanted to talk about it. He said that when he got into the military, he got me to say military. When he got into the military, he found his purpose, and that's the thing that I was talking and thinking about to myself. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was thinking about, do you know your purpose? And are you tapping into it? And me being 47, um I I was living a purpose for life. But as of late, the last year or so, I've been questioning it. Like, I do work in corporate. I do like what I do. I think I'm in a great position, but um is that really my purpose? Is it? So I'm going to be talking about that a lot there too, because this is all things popcorn, and I'm going to talk about the things I love. I'm going to talk about myself. I'm going to talk about the stuff I love. Talk about stuff, and I'm glad that you are here with me, engaging in. But I'm definitely um, questioning my purpose, and if I ever really tapped into that, you know. So, but in the meantime, I'm gonna put my thoughts in. I'm gonna bring my thoughts over here. Okay. Now again, the book is called Spare. Listen, they are not paying me, and y'all already know because I don't even have. I'm not even monetized, so they ain't nobody. I'm just not like trying to plug the book for whatever, but it's called Spare, and it's called Spare, and it's called Spare because his father said, "I gave you an heir. Now here's your spare." Damn, damn, damn. That hit different. I don't care what nobody say. That hits me different. That hits me different. Like, that that hits me different. Just calling like, I mean, I know that like you have it, but like and I'm sure he didn't mean it in the most like, I give you a spare child, because this one gonna be king, and this one you have the one close to your heart. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. That was on some fuck shit from my perspective, based on the history, based on all the information that was giving, and the type of person that he is, that he have shown himself. I'm not saying he is the the part that he have shown himself, because I'm sure he just not that one part. The part that he have shown himself is the part that makes me side eye and be like, that was some toxic shit. But everybody got a dysfunctional family. Everybody, everybody. Thank you. Harry mentioned it in his British interview, and it's in the book. Mm-hmm. How about? Now I didn't read it yet, but I saw this circulating when he was saying how he said to his brother that his hair, he was losing his hair at an alarming rate. I don't know what to listen. And you look at this book. Look at this book cover. He look like his granddaddy. Okay, I don't care what nobody say. He look a little bit like his daddy, but he looks like his granddaddy. That's probably why his grandma was like, "Ooh, baby, come here. Ooh, you remember how me and my husband in the good old days with your beautiful selves." You know that he looks like his granddaddy. Well, I mean, if I watch an English monarchy movie, I'm trying to finish it. Yes. Mm-mm-mm. Child. Yes. But again, that's something to think about, like for something to like, like wellness for your mental health. Like, are you living in your purpose? Are you nurturing your gifts? Do you know what your gifts are? And if you do, are you tapping it in? Are you tapping into your gifts? Because I mean, like we have plenty of gifts because we all know that one of the gifts, um, is the British monarchy talking trash about, I mean, the good sis, but I mean, to make money. Yo, that's something that I would like to do a live with some of my peers because I know that like I said, like my daughters, I always tell them, whether they corporate or they're pursuing like or the arts, I do try to tell them to still be dreamers, follow their dreams. So what happened if you are the gift? Then you be like present. Yeah, I'm talking about not what if you are the gift. Maybe you are the gift, sir. Anybody want to come up here? Again. So look, I just learned how to do that, okay? Because like I said, I was just using a new platform. This is new to me. I think I like it better than the other streaming. So I'm gonna get my 14 days worth into this. So again, just a recap of what we talked tonight before I go. Um, Hello, Dina. We talked about the book. I gave I talked about what my perspective on the take of the Anderson Cooper interview with Prince Harry. I will talk about what he talked about on that interview. That interview is a great watch. It's not too long. It's not fluffy. It's not all. He gets into whipping, and then I like how they put the little when he was talking about his perspective. I liked how they produced it in the way that we saw it from his. He said he could remember when he did this, and then they had the actual footage of when that time happened, and so we talked about that tonight. I did tap on of me buying the book, using that, and talking about that um, on my live. Also, we're going to do another this month. Make sure you look on my community wall because we are going to discuss, we are going to do pay and sip. But the pay and sip, how we're going to manage this time, pay and sip, we're going to talk about the best man, the final chapters as we paint because we're going to need some things specifically to talk about because as we paint and things our stuff dry up. So until next time, you guys, I want to thank you for coming. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so I can grow my channel. I want to thank everybody that joined me tonight. um Let me know, rate 1 to 4 if you give me 1 popcorn or 4 popcorns if you like this whole setup here. Um and rate for the setup. And then rate 1 to 4 popcorns if you can hear me because I do have a microphone. This microphone is not new. Actually, I was using this microphone when I first started the All Things Popcorn podcast. Um, but it's been in its case, what, for 2 years now? Oh, going on 3 years. For 2 years now. So let me know. So so let me know if you like this setup for me. and let me know if you thanks, princess. When I'm over there, are you so thank you. All right, so I think I got a winner chicken dinner. Hey. All right. Until next time, thank you, Levon's Library. Let me see. Yes, thank you for Princess. Thank you so much. He's saying hello. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so yeah, so I don't know what I mean. All right, so in the meantime, all right. So again, thank you guys for coming out, and let me see right here. Good night. Thank you.